What is up, Sports Geeks? It's your host, Josh, here back with another weekly mock draft, joined by Alec. As always, Alec, pleasure having you on here. And this is week 2 here. So the first one was dropped last week. Make sure you guys go check that out. We're going to hop right into this here real quick. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, it takes no time, and it helps the channel out, lets us know that you guys appreciate the research that we're doing here on these prospects. But we love doing it. Alec, your first pick, I took the first one last week. I'm going to give you the first pick and all of the odds this week.
Yeah. So I don't think the Titans are going to do this. I do think Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft. But I think with the situation they're in, they're going to go QB. So I'm going to go Cam Ward here at 1.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. I think it's interesting to see a lot of things came out, said that they love Cam Ward, and then they fired their GM. So I don't know if there was no, background as to where that love was coming from. Was it coming from, Callahan? Was it coming from the GM? Where's it coming from there? So I haven't seen any updates on that, but I do think that the Titans organization, at least as of a week ago, really liked Cam Ward, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they go. Last week we went quarterback. I'm going to mix it up here because I think there's a possibility they don't go quarterback here. I think Travis Hunter is the best player in this draft, and if Cleveland maybe wants to solve the quarterback through some other way, I don't necessarily know where they go. Maybe they try to go get a Daniel Jones off the Vikings practice squad and say this is serviceable for a year. Maybe they try to find a way to get Kirk Cousins in a way that doesn't absolutely kill their cap room with Deshaun Watson and Kirk Cousins. I don't know what they necessarily do, but either way, I think Travis Hunter coming into play here at number 2 is certainly possible.
Yeah, no, I love that. And if they can't trade back, I think they just go best player available. So I agree with you there. So also, did Travis Hunter's position change officially on here, or was it always cornerback?
I think it was always corner, but I don't know.
Everything else I see so I don't know.
Yeah, they haven't come out and said he still hasn't come out and said anything other than the fact that he's playing both. But
he shouldn't either.
Right.
He should build up like he's going to play both until literally game day. I think Shedeur Sanders here is going to be an easy pick for the Giants. Yeah. I think I could see him actually trading up to 2 so somebody else doesn't. But no, I like Shedeur. I mean, it's just a fit to the Giants here. They're going to take a swing on a QB. They have no one, like literally no one. Now I will say Drew Lock did have an unreal 4 touchdown game to eliminate the Colts, which was hilarious.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think they go on QB. I think they go Shedeur here.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think if he's left at 3, they certainly take him. At 4 last week, you went Will Campbell, and I think that's a good shout to protect Drake May. I think T-Mac is also a great shout to give Drake May a receiving option. But I also think that hiring Mike Vrabel as your head coach here, you're bringing in a guy that's got defensive coordinator past. He's got defensive line coach past when he was with Ohio State there. I think Abdul Carter is a guy that is very much in play here. And I know last time I think we had him falling all the way to number 8 in almost as that Brian Burns replacement for the Carolina Panthers. But I think Abdul Carter is the second best player. Travis Hunter's 1 and Abdul Carter's 2, in my opinion. And what we saw out of Abdul Carter in this Notre Dame game in that semifinal, I know you and I were texting about it. He is unreal. So I think his draft stock is steadily rising, and I wouldn't be surprised if a team that needs offensive help like the Patriots says, I don't care, we can find that somewhere else. You can't find Abdul Carter somewhere else.
You can't find Abdul. If you told me that, hey, we think T-Mac's going to be Drake London, we think Mason Graham's going to be Vita Vea, and we think Abdul Carter is going to be Micah Parsons. You're going to take Abdul Carter. You're just going to take the highest ceiling guy, which all those other guys are pretty good. But you just can't finding edge rushers is damn near impossible. Really, really good ones. Abdul Carter was hurt, and I don't know if you guys just want to go on YouTube, look up Abdul Carter highlights from the Notre Dame game. It's he's hurt. It's one game, and there's 4 minutes of highlights just of him making. It's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. That's gonna be my word of the show, by the way. Unbelievable, because Abdul Carter is just so good. But I'm gonna go Mason Graham here. To the Jags. We mocked Will Johnson here, another Michigan guy last week, I believe. Didn't we do that?
Yep.
So I like Mason Graham here. Balled out against Ohio State. Balled out all year. He's a stud. I think he's going to be a really good NFL player. Jags are
Mhm.
going to have to restart kind of from the ground up, even though their GM got to stay, which is kind of weird.
Mhm.
But I think they're just going to have to start from the ground up, take a defensive interior lineman who's just going to be a stud.
Yeah. You build the trenches here. I think both Michigan guys are in play. They're at 5. Will Johnson, Mason Graham. I also think somebody like Will Campbell to help out that offensive line is also in play. I'm going to go T-Mac here. He's available at 6. I think there's no guarantee that he's going to be available at 6, and I think the Raiders would be kicking themselves if they didn't take him. He is. I mean, you mentioned a perfect. I think Drake London's a perfect comp for him, and you can't solve quarterback at 6 there. So give your quarterback anything else to throw to. I love that. I love T Mac, the fit there at 6 going to the Raiders.
And wide receivers don't really need like the correlation. They don't really need an elite QB to produce as a rookie
Right.
or like even hit. So I think T Mac could overcome some of the struggles, especially just depends on who the Raiders hire. We don't
Mm-hmm.
really know yet. But T Mac to the Raiders would actually be really fun. I think it'd be
Yes.
fun with him and Jacoby if they bring him back with Brock Bowers. That could be a fun offense and
Yeah.
and like an attractive coaching job. I know they'll have the coach there already. But if you're a Raiders fan, you've had like 4 head coaches in 4 years. So when this next guy gets fired in a year too, the next head coach is going to have a really good. I'm just being sarcastic, just because they've had like 4 head coaches in 4 years.
Yeah.
But
Well, they're
like
currently
that could
paying
be
for.
attractive in 2026 for sure.
I think they're currently paying 4 head coaches this year.
Yeah, no, they are. It's
So,
unbelievable.
which has got to be a record. I don't know if you're at any NFL record like keepers out there that are just gurus at NFL records. You know, I mean, I don't know what if you can tell me Calvin Johnson's got the single season, yards record, but can you tell me who has paid the most head coaches at a given time? It's got to
It's
be the
not
Raiders.
good. It ain't good, and that's
No.
also with other coordinators too. So
Yeah.
it's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So the Jets here at 7. Jets are in a weird spot. Um, it's just tough. This is tough. I'm going to go Will Johnson here.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to take beat best player available. Their corners would be pretty good with Sauce and Will Johnson. That'd be a pretty good defensive, on the secondary on the outside.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think you secure your outside corners. Obviously, Sauce had a little bit worse of a year this past year than
Yep.
what he did his rookie year. But either way, you secure your outside corners, and Will Johnson is spectacular. So if you're just taking BPA, I think Will Johnson is probably it. I'm going to go Jalen Walker here at 8. I think that this is a fit that I absolutely love to the Panthers here. I think he is. I know we mentioned with on the NFL predictions when we talked about the playoff predictions when we were talking about this we were talking about the Bucks. We were saying how they didn't have the Commanders have that Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu combo, right?
Yeah.
Frankie Louvu obviously coming over from the Panthers. I think Jalen Walker's a great Frankie Louvu replacement, right? He's somebody that can play up on the line. I don't think he's big enough to pass rush all of the time, but he's big enough to pass rush occasionally, and he's great off the ball as well. So I think Jalen Walker is a great fit here. He kind of gives you help everywhere, and that's exactly where the Panthers need help defensively is everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker's like snap alignment, 249 on the D line. This is crazy. 249 on the D line, 311 in the box. Yeah, look, 61 from the slot. Dude is playing in the slot and also on the D line. He's just a freak. He's also 20.8 years of age. He's really young. I think this is kind of like his ceiling at 8, but I could definitely see him going at 8.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like this fit. And I think that he's just such a unique player in this draft in the ability that he has to service your defensive line and your linebackers core. I don't think he's going to be playing much slot in the NFL, but maybe you throw him he's there for a snap or two. But I think he's just very dynamic in which you could see the Panthers hop up here. I also think that a guy like if they wanted to go defensive line, I think that a guy like Mykel Williams could definitely be in play. I really, really like Mykel Williams in the fit there too. So be interesting to see there, but I'm going Jalen Walker there at 8.
Yeah, no, and I'm actually going to go Mykel Williams here with the Saints at 9. Mykel Williams dropping the 9 would kind of be surprising to me a little bit. But there's just a lot of good guys at the top of this draft, and I think it's all dependent on what these teams need. I really like Mykel Williams. I think he's going to be pretty good in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I like Michael Williams, Mykal Williams a ton too. I think he's got the. I mean, he's somebody that was talked about to be a top 3, top 5 pick at the
Well, yeah.
beginning of the season.
And in 2022, his true freshman year, dude's 18 years old, and he played in all 15 games and had 6 sacks and 25 hurries at 18 years old in the SEC. Like I'm going to trust that to translate, as well as being like a freak athlete.
Yes, yeah, that is that I would agree with that. Here, so to me at 10 here with the Bears, I think this is an easy pick. It's just where they go from here.
Mhm.
So it's going to be one of the tackles that's not a tackle, Will Campbell or Kelvin Banks Jr. I think Will Campbell's the better one in my opinion. I'm going to go Will Campbell. I think he's somebody that's going to slide into guard. I don't think he's necessarily big enough or he's going to have the arm length to play tackle, but he's extremely fundamental. He's got a great mentality. He's going to be a great leader on your offensive line. I think this is going to be a great pick for the Bears, which pains me to say as a Lions fan here.
Yeah, no. I think Will Campbell could help them out a lot. They definitely need to take an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a train wreck in Chicago. They've also interviewed more people than like are currently employed by Fortune 500 companies. I mean, they've literally interviewed like 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
Like high school football programs don't interview as many people as the Bears have. Like it's pretty crazy. So for the Niners here, I know we went safety last time. We kind of got a little hate in the comments. I saw some Niners fans were chirping us a little bit. I kind of liked it about how they would never take a safety this high. Malachi Starks, I think, is a little bit different. I don't think he's like a true what I'm trying to say is like we saw Kyle Hamilton kind of fall. Remember when Kyle Hamilton fell a little bit? He didn't run as well, and now he's one of the best players in the NFL on defense.
Yeah.
I could see Malachi Starks kind of benefiting from that. But here, this is a tough one for me as I'm stalling. But I'm going to go Kelvin Banks here. I think they could. So Kelvin Banks only 20. What is he? 20. I was just like 20.8. He could play guard. He could probably play tackle as well. Opposite of Trent Williams. Trent Williams probably only has like 1 or 2 more years. If the Niners can just get one more quality offensive lineman, they could probably go on another run next year, and I think he could help them immediately.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I'm going to make the America's pick there with Genty to the Cowboys. I think there's plenty of areas they could go outside of Genty. I just think that with all of the hype around Genty, I think this is a people's pick here. And whether this is the best value that the Cowboys can find or not, I think this is one that they end up taking Genty here either way.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love this. So here, give me Malachi Starks here. I really like him to the Dolphins. Dolphins are kind of in no man's land. They're kind of in the doldrums of like, do we go all in? Do we start to blow this thing up? Are we ever going to win a game when it's below 30 degrees? Like it's kind of just like, well, what's going on here? But yeah, I like, you can't really pass up on a guy as talented as Malachi Starks.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think, a couple of Niners fans saying we would never draft a safety last one, which I completely understand, and I completely understand wanting to build out the trenches a little bit more. But the talent that Malachi Starks has is exceptional. He's so instinctive. That's the thing that stands out to me. His instincts play, or his instincts take over a lot of the time, and that's exactly what you want out of a safety. Somebody that's just free flowing and playing with their instincts. So I love Malachi Starks. I love the fit, I should say, to the Dolphins too. I think the Dolphins are in a little bit more need of a safety than the Niners. But over to me here with the Colts. I'm taking Tyler Warren. I think this is just a fit to me that they love their raw athletic scores. I know we talked about this last time. I think you took James Pierce Jr. They love their raw athletic scores. Tyler Warren, I think, is going to be a raw athletic score freak. He's going to test exceptionally, and I think they need more receiving options. Right, Michael Pittman Jr. is a good wide out. Josh Downs is a good guy in the slot, but you really don't have any sort of threat outside of that. Obviously you get a little bit out of Alec Pierce when Richardson throws it 60 yards downfield, and Adonai Mitchell maybe not quite what you were hoping out of him yet. But Tyler Warren as tight end, I think, is a great fit here at 14.
Yeah, and I think they missed out on Brock Bowers last year and really wanted him. So I think they kind of make amends this year with Tyler Warren. I could definitely see that.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so 15. So I would go edge rusher here, but just because of what Atlanta's done in the past, they love drafting skill guys high. They just do it. They've been doing it the last 4 or 5 years. I'm going to go Luther Burden here.
Love it.
I think this is a real possibility. I really do. And that offense would be stacked. Just from young skill players. It would be amazing. It would be awesome to see.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I'm going to go Nick Skirton here. I think that he's got good size, and I think he defends the run really well. I think that's one thing that I like out of him is that he can get after the pass rusher, but he also defends the run well. And this Arizona Cardinals team is looking for, I think they're looking for some offensive line help, which as I'm saying this, I might be talking myself into Josh Simmons, but I think realistically, I'm not going to let that skew me there. I'm going to take Nick Skirton. I think he's just an all-around player. He's somebody that's going to help the defensive line in all aspects of the game, the rushing defense, and getting after the passer. I just like the fit there, and I think that the Cardinals need some defensive playmakers there.
Yeah, no, I love that. And then so here for my Bengals, I'm assuming just because T. Higgins and Jamar Chase have the same agent, T. Higgins is probably going to be back in Cincinnati. They have enough cap room. I think they get it done just because the trio's so close, if I had to put a bet on it. So I don't think they go receiver here. I'm actually going to go James Pierce Jr. here because, like we talked about in our last mock draft, he's going to test really well. He's going to get a lot of hype. So I can see him actually going higher than 17. But I think this would be a good landing spot.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I want to take Josh Simmons here, but I just don't think the fit is there. I think you're I'm kind of torn in between here, right? You could go Shamar Stewart. I think he's kind of that he's very, very large defensive, and they've listed the edge. You could play defensive tackle as well. Kenneth Grant's a great interior defensive lineman there. I'm going to go linebacker, though. And this is a guy that we had last time is Jihad Campbell. I took him last time, and I don't remember how – I took him later. I believe it was somewhere down here. But I think Jihad Campbell is a spectacular linebacker. I was just talking about Malachi Starks and his instincts. Jihad Campbell's very instinctive. He's quick. He's got sideline to sideline, range. And that's just something that to me really sticks out. The Seahawks need help in defensively there. And I think that he's somebody that can shut down the run and is good in coverage as well. I just like Jihad Campbell a lot. Yeah. The NFL doesn't value linebackers as much as other positions like a defensive or offensive line, but I think Jihad Campbell is going to be an exception in that and could fly up the board here.
Yeah, but Mike McDonald is a defensive guy, so I could definitely see them going linebacker. And I mean, if you think about it, they basically got rid of both their starting linebackers mid-year. So I mean, they're going to definitely prioritize it this year for sure. Tyrese Knight's there. He probably actually played pretty well. But they definitely need to address linebacker for sure. I definitely agree. For the Broncos here, I'm going to go Buka here. It just seems like too good of a fit. It just seems like it's too perfect. So it probably won't happen. It just seems like too perfect of a fit.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that pick there. And if he doesn't go there, I think he's probably going to your next pick there with the Steelers. So I like Buka. This is where I'm kind of torn here. I think that Benjamin Morrison is probably where I would go with this pick. I like Ben Morrison a lot. He obviously is a little bit knocked up this year with some injury. He had the hip injury, so it's be curious to see how he does on medicals. But he's young, 20.8, like we were saying. I believe he had more picks. Yeah, more picks than touchdowns in his career given up. So this dude is a very, very good coverage corner. I think Tampa Bay is looking for coverage help. And this is kind of where they go. I think given the way that the draft has fallen here, I think if James Pierce Jr. is there, I think he's certainly in play. I think if Jihad Campbell's there, he's certainly in play, kind of, as the what they were hoping Devin White was going to be, right? Try to give Levante David, who's 65 years old with grandkids at this point and still playing really well, give him some help. But I'm going to go Ben Morrison here.
Okay, I love that. I think out of the corners, he probably has like the highest upside, just because of the age. Like Jade and like Siobhan Ravel, like are both almost 23 years old, and Ben Morris is only 20.8. So I definitely could see somebody taking a chance on him just because they get those 2 years of development. So Steelers here. I just don't know how they would pass on Josh Simmons just due to the positional value. But they don't really need that. So it's kind of tough here for me. Um, I'm actually going to go Ravel from East Carolina.
Yep.
Uh, I don't think you can ever have too many corners, and the Steelers have shown that they're more than willing to draft corner high.
Yep. I love Siobhan Ravel. I'm going to take Josh Simmons. That was an easy
That's
pick
an
for me
easy
with the
one.
Rams there.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah.
You go kind of through this stretch here after you get past this initial kind of we need a tackle phase with Kelvin Banks goes and then Malachi Starks goes and where he could go to the Dolphins, and then you start to go through maybe the Cardinals need one, and then you go into Josh Simmons is one of the tackles that's a true tackle. He's not somebody that's going to slide in and play guard, and you go through some of these teams like the Seahawks that need guard. They don't need tackle help. So it's just interesting to see what happens. But Josh Simmons, if you get him at 22, I think the value is really, really high there. He's somebody that before his leg injury was spectacular. Your word is unbelievable. My word is spectacular. He was spectacular this year.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, I agree. He was unbelievable. That's my word for today. All right, so with the Chargers pick here, they just love football players, and we talked about this guy last time. I'm going to go Walter Nolan here. I know Colson Loveland's still on the board. Walter Nolan is just a football player. And I could see somebody falling in love with him, and I could definitely see Jim Harbaugh falling in love with him.
Yes. No, I love that pick there. Walter Nolan, we had him going a little bit earlier last time even. So, no, I like that a lot here. So with the Packers here, Jair Alexander just came out. This is being recorded on Tuesday. It'll be posted on Wednesday. So just came out here on Tuesday morning and said his future is unknown. So I think to me, I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. And I think that Jahdae Barron I don't see him as a first round talent necessarily. But I think given the situation, I think corner is going to be corner is a listed need here, and it is a need with Jair Alexander planning on playing for the Packers. If he were to request a trade or not come back next year, I think that it is a massive, massive need. The first thing that you need to address if you're the Packers. So if you don't do that through free agency, it's unfortunate here that you have picks 2021. You have Benjamin Morrison and Siobhan Ravel go.
Yep.
I think that given the situation, they have to go corner. And I think that they're going to overpay a little bit, but they have to take one. And I think that Jahdae Barron is going to go here to the Packers.
Yeah, Jahdae Barron played great against Jeremiah Smith. I know they doubled him a lot, but he played great. I know he's also like 4 years older than Jeremiah Smith, so that helps. But he's a little older. He's 23.1. But no, I don't mind him there because he'd probably go in the 30s anyway. So if you really need him, just take him.
Right. I think at that point, it's kind of like, do you feel what's the difference on the Packers, grades between Jahdae Barron and a guy like Maxwell Hairston, right? And if you feel that like it's not that much, you can get Hairston in the second round. Okay, I liked, or a guy like Trey Amos, right? Kind of just where's your line at, where's your grades at? But I think, in my opinion, Jahdae Barron's significantly better than like Trey Amos, Maxwell Hairston, like we're mentioning there. So I would take him over Jahdae Barron or over those two guys pretty significantly, and at this point take them. But I could very easily see them saying we're going to address something else and address corner in free agency or later in the draft with a guy that we feel is similar and we can get in this a round or two later.
Love it. No, I absolutely agree. And then for this pick, I'm going to make it short and sweet. I'm going to go Kenneth Grant from Michigan. Good value for the Texans here. Their edge rushers are great. They need some help on the interior.
Yep, I'm going to take Armand Membu. I think he is one of the probably the second tackle in the class, in my opinion, because I think that Kelvin Banks Jr. and Will Campbell both slide into guard. So I think Josh Simmons is number one tackle. Armand Membu is the second tackle. And I think that they can you have to protect Jaden Daniels, and in this situation, I think that's where they go. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Shamar Stewart would be in play there too. He's an edge and defensive interior, in my opinion. But I think Armand Membu is a solid pick for the Commanders there.
Yeah, no, I think so too. Okay, so for the Ravens here, this is tough. This is tough just the way the board's fallen. It fell a little bit different last time that we did this. I'm going to go Shamar Stewart here.
Yep. I like that.
I just think that he's a big body. He could fit in another D-line.
Yep. Yep, I like that. I think I'm going to go here with Derek Harmon and to the Vikings. Derek Harmon's a guy that is very low on PFF's board. I think he's going to be a first rounder. If he's not a first rounder, he's going to be a very early day two pick. So I like Derek Harmon a lot. I think he's got a lot of potential when it comes to just getting after the passer, getting after the quarterback. I mean, his pass rush skills are great. And I also think he's very decent in the run game, and I think that's going to bode well. Especially, I don't think Brian Flores will be there, but if he is still there, I like Derek Harmon a lot because of his how much he loves to blitz. If you blitz, it allows a guy like Derek Harmon to win in a true 1v1 against the center or against one of the guards, in which he's going to be able to utilize his pass rush skills a
Yeah.
ton.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. And then Bills here, I'm going to go Tyleik Williams from Ohio State. I think it's just a good fit. They need help on the interior. So I think he'd be a good fit there.
Yeah. No, this is where it gets kind of interesting. I think like Colston Loveland is falling. And I don't necessarily think that the Eagles are going to take him. I don't think that the Chiefs are going to take him. I don't think the Lions are going to take him. So you could be in an odd situation with like Matthew Mayer, remember 2 years ago, and everybody thought he was going to be a first round pick, and he fell to the second round. And Sam Laporta went over him in the second round. So I think that we could be in an interesting spot like this. I think that Wyatt Milam could slide into guard, and I think that's probably where I'm going to go here. I think that Wyatt Milam is a very quality guard when he comes to the NFL. I don't think he's going to play tackle. I think he's going to play guard. And I like the fit here. You can never have too many offensive linemen, especially with an offensive line development history like the Eagles have. Take a guy like Wyatt Milam. Maybe he's in and out of the lineup within year one. By year two, he's going to be playing really well. Kind of like exactly what we're seeing with Cam Jurgens right now, right? He sits behind Travis Kelce, comes in now, and is playing at maybe an all-pro level. So I think that's kind of where we would go. I could see the Eagles going there.
Yeah, no, I love that. And then so for this pick, I was thinking Cam Williams. I believe he was in the late first last time. He got worked by Jack Sawyer in JTT in the national semifinal. I think his stock's going to drop a little bit. I'm actually going to go Jack Sawyer here.
Okay.
I think he's going to get enough hype, depending on how he plays the national championship game. His last 3 games, he has, 5.5, 6 sacks in his last 3 games against the best teams all year. So I think his stock's just going to keep rising.
Okay. I like that. I was going to take either JTT or Jack Sawyer. I was going to debate between the two, probably end up with Jack Sawyer, but that's fine. I'll take JTT for my Lions there and get some edge help. So, this is where we're at here with the second mock draft. We'll zoom out here so you can get the full view. But second mock draft here, coming at you every single week, sometime between Monday and Wednesday, every single week. So this is the second one. Obviously, plenty of change here as we get the combine results, as we get Senior Bowl, as we get pro days, and then into the combine, I guess. There's going to be plenty of adjustment here as we find out whatever Walter Nolan was the best player in practice 2 years ago, and at a day when the Bears head of scouting was there. So now the Bears really like Walter Nolan or whatever. Everything that happens, all the things that happen with the draft, that just makes it so fun. But either way, this has been the Sports Geeks podcast with another NFL mock draft here. They play, we talk. Thanks so much, you guys. Peace.